Yes, yes, yes. We are finally funded. Finally. It took so long. I'm telling you, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. I've gotten so close and just fumbled the bag. This is my first time being funded with a CFD prop firm since FTMO first stopped letting American traders. And it feels good. And let me rephrase that. First time being funded with CFD. I was funded with Top Step last year, but CFDs is where it's at for me. It's where I like to trade. It's what I like to trade. And yeah, feels good to finally be funded again. And it's been a struggle. It's been a real deal struggle. And if you've been struggling, just understand everybody's been struggling. These markets have been horrible. Very, 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 very horrible. So don't beat yourself up. Don't become down. Don't lower your morale because you've been struggling, because everybody's been struggling. If any traders say they have not been struggling, they're lying. There are some traders who are showing you crazy months. They had a perfect month and everything. No, they're struggling. Even the prop firms are struggling. Even the 1% of prestigious traders in the world, they're struggling. It's a crazy market right now, and it's okay if you're struggling. Just take a step back, pay attention to the markets, learn patience, and adapt your strategy to the market. Do not change your strategy, just adapt your strategy to the market. That's the key things. So, yeah, so this right here is the 5%ers. And I was trading with FTMO, and I started to diversify my prop firms because there were a lot of people who were coming out with issues with payouts and getting banned from from FTMO, and that had me a bit worried. And there was a trader that I do follow who was like, yo, don't put all your eggs in one basket, diversify your prop firm accounts. And I was like, yo, that's a very, very smart idea. So I had accounts with FTMO, then I had accounts with Fivers. I felt like Fivers was the next best thing. Although right now I feel like the 5%ers, they are the best thing. But at the time I was like FTMO is number one, 5%ers are number two. And I opened up accounts with both. And in the beginning, when the last year coming into this year, I was looking at having like I was on pace to have like 3 or 4 funded accounts in January. Like I really was. I was in from FTMO. I had one account that was in verification mode. I had one account that was the new one step account where I was like a few $100s away from passing that, and I had another account that had just went into verification mode, and it was like deep into verify. It was like I was at like I can't remember, but it was deep into verification mode. And then once this war happened with Iran, everything went down the drain. So yeah, man, if you've been struggling, it's okay. Everybody's been struggling. So I want to break down some of these accounts, and I just want to just to say the one thing that can help you and save you as a trader, the one thing, and that one thing is your biggest loss, your average loss per per trade or per account or so. That's key. So this is one of the accounts that I did blow. It's a 10K account. As you can see, started off rocky. I'm not going to say it started off rocky. It started off pretty good. I was up in profits, and then tanked. You know what I'm saying? And this is why. Biggest loss, $247. So that's key. That's me holding the trade. That's me not abiding by my stop loss. That's me just letting the trade run and just smack me in the face. And if the daily loss is 500, then why is my biggest loss $247? That's crazy. That's really crazy. You can even look at the 1% is 39%, and at some points that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if your daily loss is going to eat up your whole like everything anyway. And then my best profit is $108. That's very lopsided. You're not going to be. You can still be profitable if your biggest loss is greater than your best profit. You can still be profitable that day like that. But when your biggest loss is like half of your daily loss limit, that's pretty crazy. Your biggest loss is almost 3%. That's pretty crazy. Profit factor 0.47. That's pretty crazy. So now let's go to the funded account. So finally funded. So if you go back to my overview here with all these accounts, these are all 10K accounts. So here, right here, this account here, I actually did pass it. I passed it. It was the account here with the 5%ers. You have this is the high stakes. So it's just like a regular challenge, the 2-step challenge, 10% first phase, 5% second phase. But you can also do 8% first phase and then 5% second phase. And that's what I did here. I chose the option for the 8% first phase, 5% second phase. And it's also still, both of those phases are still cheaper than FTMO. That's another reason why I like 5%ers. They're cheaper than FTMO. They're not like cheap and a horrible prop firm, but they're less expensive than FTMO. And I really like that because FTMO, I feel like since FTMO have come back to the United States, I feel like their quality of service, their quality of a prop firm has tanked. And I do feel like it's just for U.S. traders. I feel like their global platform is better, but I don't think that they're able to get around the United States regulations and still be a good option for traders in the United States just yet. And I don't like some of the things that they've been doing. And I feel like before with FTMO that their price, it was like one of those things where if you want good quality, then you pay the price. But their price point is not matching their quality lately. So 5%ers, I really like them. They don't have a 1% rule. They don't have, all these, like, they don't have hidden rules. It's like, trade, don't break the basic rules, the daily loss limit and the news trading, and get your money. So here I actually did hit the 8% here, and then I got to the verification stage and I fumbled the bag. I really did. These markets are hard. It is what it is. So with that being said, I was like, okay, these are 10K accounts and I'm blowing money at this point. So I need to take a step back and not just waste money because times are hard right now. This economy is messed up. Times are hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I'm trying to get rich just like you who's watching this video right now. So I had to drop down to a 5K account. And I'm glad that I did because I actually passed it. I actually passed it here. It reached a 5,500, then 5,200, 5,250, and I actually passed it. And I'm very thankful. And now we are funded. Finally funded. Feels so good. And it's also a bit nerve wracking because it's like I'm funded, but I don't want to trade these markets. As you can see, I have 5 inactive days. It's really more like 3 or 2 because a few of those days the account was here, but I couldn't trade it anyway because it was waiting for a risk management team to do whatever. So I couldn't even touch the account. So it's really like 2 or 3 days inactivity. But with these markets, man, I'm just like waiting for the best. Like this setup gotta be so blatant that a blind man can see it. Like I'm waiting for the best trade. I am not trying to blow this account. I don't even want my mental to go into panic mode, and I don't want to even lose the first trade. I'm just gonna be real. I would like to, even if I make $10 off the trade, that would be something that will help me get going for for this account. Like I don't want to blow this account. I don't want to do anything stupid with this account. And as you can see, payout profit is $49 because that's the refund. That's something that's kind of, I wish they would have refunded me directly to the payment method that I use instead of putting it into the account because there's no guarantee that I will be able to get that back. So that's kind of like, I see you 5%ers. Y'all kind of finessing right there, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, we're funded. And we're going to scale this account. It's another thing that I like about the 5%ers that's different than FTMO is how easily you can scale the account. You just hit 10%, you can keep scaling up and keep scaling up and keep scaling up. You can scale up all the way to, I believe it's 500K. I think on here it's going to say 300K, but I'm pretty positive it's 500K. Yep, up here it says scale up to 300, but I think it's really 500K. And then also, once you get to like, I think it's like 150K or so, then you can qualify to get paid out monthly on top of your actual payouts. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, man, if you're still here, I appreciate you all. Make sure you're keeping your largest loss and your average losses small because that's going to help you in the long run. If you set your stop loss, then that's your stop loss. Stop the loss. Do not allow that trade to keep digging. And that's why you need to be very mindful of where you set your stop loss. Set your stop loss where you know for certain if you're going long and price breaks this low, the trend just changed. The character just changed. You know that it's reversing. you need to get out of that trade. And also, if you're setting your stop loss and you become anxious, worried, you start hyperventilating as price is approaching your stop loss, then you need to lower your risk. Lower your risk so that if price is approaching your stop loss, you do not feel the need to move your stop loss, and you do not feel the need to chase what you are about to lose or what you have then just lost. So lower your risk, man. In these markets, anyway, you need to lower your risk because these markets are crazy. They're crazy. So lower your risk. Don't move your stop loss. Make sure your losses are small. Make sure your biggest loss is small, your average loss are small, and be patient. Be very, very, very patient. Don't go out and just change your strategy because it's not working in these markets. Just adapt. Just don't change the entire strategy. Just change small parts of the strategy that will allow you to adapt to these markets. Like for example, me, I try not to trade New York session. I try not to trade New York session unless it's like I'm telling you, it's a great setup. And I'm gonna tell you a little something that I have been doing is fundamentals. I've been paying attention to fundamentals a lot because sometimes what happens with fundamentals is that you will have a crazy move and then price will come back and price will trade back into a fair value gap and then continue back. Like price will shoot up, come back down to a fair value gap, and then continue up. And that's how I've been catching a lot of my trades. But don't just go out and just start trading that because I am just now learning fair value gaps. But they've been working for me, and I really like them. And that's been just purely on fundamentals. Of course, with some technical analysis as well, but a lot with fundamentals because you have to know everything that's going on in the markets right now in order to trade them properly. And yeah, and I've also been trading Asian session. Asian session a lot because I do have a full-time job. I do work until midnight and sometimes beyond midnight. So Asia session is it's kind of been my bread and butter for this whole year. To be honest with you, I've only traded New York session a handful of times, really a handful of times, and I don't trade 8:30. I don't trade at 9:30. I don't trade at 10:30. I'm trading New York session. I'm trading at probably like 1 p.m. That's when I start to look at the markets when all the craziness have died down. So that's something that you should take into consideration. Is don't try to be like everybody else. Oh, I'm gonna catch the open. Oh, I'm gonna what I'm saying, catch all the volatility in the beginning because that's how I was trading futures. I was trading the 15-minute orb, and I did find success with it when things were more easygoing and more trending. But now it's been too chaotic. Another thing, Mondays, don't trade Mondays. Do not trade Mondays. Sometimes it's not even good to trade on the Tuesday. Do not trade Mondays because what's been happening is on Fridays and Saturdays, things have been going haywire. And then when Mondays come, when markets open up on Sunday, there have been crazy gaps. Then when indices open up on Mondays, it's been making everything just go crazy, 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 crazy. And so it's trying to balance itself out. So Mondays, you're going to get slapped. Try not to trade Mondays. I know the thing in the past, don't trade Fridays. That's up to you. If Fridays work for you, trade Fridays. But with how these markets have been, definitely do not trade Mondays. But yeah, man, if you're still here, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit that link in the description for a 10% off a 5%ers account. And I appreciate you guys.